to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
A true miracle in the mountains. For nearly 3 days, a toddler lived alone, finding a way to survive with the dangers of these eastern Kentucky hills. This is a new look tonight of the rescue. Your News Today out of Magoffin County shared it with us. Kenneth Howard is still being seen by doctors tonight. We're told he is suffering from dehydration and some tick bites, but he is expected to make a full recovery. Today we heard from his rescuers. We begin our team coverage live with WYMT's Will Puckett. Will?
Steve, emotions are still running high. You can see smiles. They're abound here in Prestonsburg tonight after a little boy is now back in the arms of his mother and father after many thought that he was lost forever.
We wasn't expecting him to be alive. We didn't expect him to be there.
Michael Tussey heard this little boy's cries for help.
I just cried. I knew it was him.
Searching hours on end, hundreds came out to search for little Kenneth, hoping they would find him alive some way, somehow.
If it happened right now, I guarantee all the first responders would do it again.
The Wolfe County Search and Rescue Squad, trained in finding hikers in the Red River Gorge, had the winning formula to rescue this 22-month-old boy.
It's always scary when it's a child. I mean, we have personally never dealt with a search for a child that's 22 months old. I think for us in the Gorge area, the youngest has been a 3- and a 5-year-old.
In 1,400-foot elevations, crews scoured all around the house, but they came upon the blonde-haired boy just more than 1,700 feet from his home.
I know when the call came in that they'd found him, like I said earlier, it was, I could feel some well up going on, and, I'm not ashamed to admit that, so it was a good feeling.
Tussey couldn't sleep at all last night, emotions still running high. Now, looking back, he and his crew of 8 look forward to the day when they can talk to Kenneth face to face about this miraculous find.
I couldn't tell you. It's something that my whole team, all these guys, it's just, I don't know. You get teary-eyed sitting here talking about it.
And as all of these fathers go home tonight, they'll look their own kids in the eyes and hug them just a little bit tighter. Now tonight, family tells us little Kenneth is still at Cabell Huntington Hospital. They hope doctors will release him sometime tomorrow. His aunt sent us this photo earlier. She says they cannot keep their hands off this little cutie, keeping him as close as possible. Nick Oliver reports from Huntington.
Family members say this has been a roller coaster of emotions and it leading to a very happy ending, but now they're ready to get back to normalcy.
He's really not said anything besides drink.
Following 3 days in the woods, 22-month-old Kenneth Howard is now spending his days here at Cabell Huntington Hospital in West Virginia, all after that dramatic rescue all of Kentucky watched. His aunt, Vicki Howard, says he is recovering from dehydration, swelling, and several tick bites, and he's also taking part in multiple tests. However, family says they haven't come across any significant problems.
He looks great, and we're just happy to have him back.
The child survived cold nights with little clothing, just his pajamas. Questions are still up in the air as to how this happened, but family members say they are not in a rush for answers, now focusing on a new day filled with new opportunities for this 22-month-old.
There's not words to describe the feeling when we got that call that he's been found. I've never been one to believe in miracles, but once you witness one, you'll never go back to not believing.
And while they now wait for doctor's orders,
thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
They can sit back and thank everyone that helped, from prayers to actual boots on the ground, all in a letter written by his parents.
Just prayed for our little miracle baby to get home safe.
Family members do tell me that they are expecting him to stay another night here in Huntington, West Virginia, before possibly being released tomorrow. In Huntington, West Virginia, Nick Oliver, WKYT.
Now, many have wondered what little Kenneth was wearing while he was out there. He was wearing a gray Avengers t-shirt with red sweatpants with a blue stripe down the side. He had shoes near him but was barefoot when they found him. They searched for him for about 67 hours. The radius stretched about a half mile around his home. ultimately finding him about a third of a mile northwest of the house. His cries for help ultimately leading to his rescue.
And as we called his name over and over, he sporadically would speak up, and he would give us a shout, and we were able to pinpoint his location and then move into where he was at.
Many of you have answered the calls for help. You proved just how amazing these mountains we live in are. 200 to 300 people helped in the rescue efforts, many others donating food, water, and really anything else that was needed. Our Marianne Fletcher continues our team coverage tonight.
In a time of need,
the gratitude is beyond measure.
County lines blend here in Eastern Kentucky.
Seeing everybody pray together and search together and, support each other, that was the best feeling.
This week, we watched that firsthand during the search of little Kenneth Howard. Jessica Sloan is one of many who jumped into action.
It's just like everybody pulled together right when it needed to be pulled together.
Many felt a special bond with this blue-eyed little boy.
I prayed that God would hold that baby in his arms until someone could find him.
Holding on to hope.
It's a personal thing.
When so many may have given up.
That's one of the happiest moments that I've had in a long time.
Donations poured in from across the region.
The support we had was endless.
The search that started with tears also ended with tears.
That's emotional. Even before he was found, and emotional afterwards, so.
But all for the right reasons.
I saw something earlier today that said, never give up. Right when you think it's over, God performs a miracle. And I know that God performed a miracle.
Because so many proved just how special a place it is here in the mountains. Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Steve, the response the past few days has been overwhelming, even for us at WYMT. Many people calling in asking had they found little Kenneth or if there was any way that they could help. But in the end, to sum it up perfectly, Carter Conley with Magoffin County Search and Rescue said it all exactly right. Little Kenneth is a true mountain boy. Steve.
Will Puckett, thank you. A story that's not only touched hearts here in Eastern Kentucky, but across the nation. I've received calls from around the country today from television stations wanting video and more information. Just a remarkable story. A ruling today by a judge in favor of Cordia and Lotts Creek Community School. The injunction sets an indefinite $1 lease per year between LCCS and the Knott County School District. The court battle started when school district officials tried to close Cordia, and they could still appeal today's ruling. In his nearly 5 months in office, Letcher County Sheriff Mickey Steins has been cracking down on meth. He describes it as an epidemic in the county. This week, he and his deputies are investigating after meth was found at a local middle school. WYMT's Justin Case is talking with Sheriff Steins about what officials are doing to make sure nothing like this happens again. Justin?
Steve, it was early Tuesday morning when the Letcher County Sheriff's Office was notified that a student at the school right behind me here may have brought meth to the school. Now, this school is the Letcher Elementary and Middle School, and we do not know if the student is a boy or a girl. We also do not know what grade the student attends. Now, we are told that the student is in middle school here. Officials say many of the details of this case will not be released because the person involved is a minor. So what we do know is that officials believe the substance they found is meth. It will be sent to a lab tomorrow to be tested, just to confirm. And deputies have increased their presence at the school and will keep more school resource officers at the school for as long as they can. Now, Sheriff Steins urges all parents to begin talking to their kids about the dangers of drugs. He says drug dealers are no longer looking at the person they're selling to and looking at their age. Instead, they're only seeing dollar signs.
We tell the parents if they're there, and we tell the kids that we're going to talk to their kids about the dangers of drugs, and we're not going to sugarcoat nothing because the drug dealer down the street is going to talk to them about it. So, we want the parents of Letcher County to know the schools are safe. We've done everything we can. We went through the proper channels to make sure everything was handled the correct way. But
I did ask Sheriff Steins if the student or the student's parents could face charges as a result of this investigation. He says that is something he cannot rule out at this time. Of course, we'll have much more on this story as it develops. We'll have that coming up tonight at 11.
You noticed in Justin's live shot, beautiful sunny skies. Really have been seeing that throughout the day today. And as we go to take a look at a few of those cameras showing really much of the same story. Interstate 75, a few clouds a little bit earlier, but overall we have seen those mostly sunny skies and drier conditions. Looking over to Stonecrest, you're seeing a few of those high clouds, but overall those beautiful blue skies. Satellite and radar, you are seeing a clean sweep. Haven't had to deal with that rain. You'll notice to the north and to the west, a little bit of rain, maybe moving in a little bit later tonight, but those temperatures into those mid to upper 70s, maybe some spots into the 80s. We warm up even more as we head into tomorrow, and I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes. Steve.
All right, Paige, thank you. Burned and abandoned in parking lots. That's how Perry County Sheriff's deputies found 2 of 5 vehicles reported stolen in just the last few months. Car owners are warned, but Sheriff Joe Engel says business owners better be on the lookout too. Thousands of dollars worth of heavy machinery was stolen from Rental Pro just overnight. WYMT's Taylor Upchurch gives us a look at the surveillance video.
Imagine coming to work and finding a large fence like this one broken, lying on the ground, assuming possibly a customer backed up into it and didn't see it behind them. Then come to find out $25,000 worth of your merchandise is stolen.
Police say the suspect or suspects in this white Toyota Tacoma are not professional criminals.
Lost the trailer.
The thief's amateur ability gives Sheriff Engel a reason to suspect the trailer is stolen. But whoever it was had skills loading an excavator just like this one.
That is the bread and butter of our business right there. If they had to get something, that is the hardest hit they could have given us right there.
New machinery could potentially cost Rental Pro nearly $40,000 to replace. Doug Jones is sickened to see $200 a day, $800 a week slip through their fingers.
Well, it's not only my livelihood, it's the livelihood of our employees. You know, we've got 30-some people on payroll.
Sheriff Joe Engel says he wouldn't be surprised if the reason behind the uptick in stolen cars and this piece of equipment coincides drug activity.
I keep thinking that maybe that's something to do with methamphetamines, because over the past 2 years we've seen methamphetamines enter this area, which has never been here before.
But for workers making an honest living, they're taking the biggest hit. In Perry County, Taylor Upchurch, WYMT Mountain News.
If you recognize the truck in the video or have information regarding the missing John Deere excavator or the Jeep Cherokee, deputies ask that you call the Perry County Sheriff's Office at 606-439-4523. Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes releases the projected voter turnout for next week's primary, and it's not good. She predicts about 12.5% of registered voters in Kentucky will show up at the polls next Tuesday. Grimes says that is based on historical data and voting patterns, and it's about the same as the 2015 election. There are more than 3 million people registered to vote in Kentucky. Grimes urged people to get out and vote, saying, "Prove my prediction wrong." Well, at the top of the ballot Tuesday, of course, the governor's race. We have a live web poll right now. We want to know who you think will win the Republican primary for governor. You can tell us at WYMT.com.
And as we head into the next few days, you'll notice that heat and humidity increasing, few rain chances as well. But how about that weekend forecast? I'll have a look at that coming up in just a few short minutes.
And we'll talk to the owner of a well-known hoagie shop that is closing after more than a quarter century in business.